Welcome to Symbology of the Feminine Divine. I am Dr. Michelle Snyder, the symbologist. I'm a symbol historian, and what you see today is not fantasy. It is history encrypted. Now, before Olympus, before Zeus thundered, there was Nyx, the night. Not a goddess of dreams and lullabies, but of origins. She is the daughter of chaos, the mother of death and sleep and the fates. Even Zeus feared her, not because she was cruel, but because she was older than power itself. Dr. Enzmann saw her not as myth, but as principle, the silent, fertile darkness from which stars and gods emerge. Night is not absence, it is presence, deep, watchful, full of things unspoken. Nyx is the mother of mystery, and when night falls, she is still there, listening. Now, Gaia, or Mother Earth, is the divine feminine in its most elemental form. She isn't just soil, she's sentience. In Greek myth, she predates the gods, birthing Uranus, the Titans, and everything that followed. Dr. Enzmann saw her as a coded memory, a mythic articulation of Earth's self-regulating systems. Gaia is not metaphor. She is model. She gives life and maintains balance and corrects what violates her rhythm. Gaia is not ours. She is not owned. She is owed. Inanna, Ishtar in Arcadia, is one of the oldest goddesses on record. Now, she is queen of heaven and earth, goddess of love and war and cosmic descent. She is not a gentle deity. Inanna is passion and strategy, sensuality and sovereignty. She brings life, but she also demands sacrifice. Her most enduring myth is her descent to the underworld. She passes through 7 gates, is stripped of her power, and dies, only to rise again. Enzmann would call this an encoded initiation, the feminine journey through death, renewal, and cosmic order. Ishtar's temples were both centers of commerce and sacred astronomy. Her 8-pointed star marks Venus, whose cycles were tracked for navigation and timekeeping, which increased trade. She is the original love-war goddess, where desire and destiny are inseparable. Inanna doesn't just rule heaven, she confronts it. Hecate is the triple-formed goddess of crossroads, magic, and the unseen. She walks the boundary between light and shadow, guiding souls through the thresholds of birth and death and transformation. Torch in one hand, key in the other, Hecate is the guardian of liminal spaces where choices are made and fates are sealed. In Greek myth, she is honored not just by witches, but by kings and heroes. They know her power over the veils of night. Enzmann saw her as the keeper of hidden systems, lunar cycles, herbal knowledge, the secret architecture of time. She is not a goddess of fear, but of seeing. She lights the path where others dare not look. If you follow her, you will find the truth. Lilith. Now, her name echoes like a warning. She is not found in Genesis, but in the margins, folklore, apocrypha, and whispered heresy. Lilith was Adam's first wife, made from the same earth as Adam, not from his rib. She refused submission, and when he demanded it, she spoke the secret name of God and left. Not cast out, she chose exile on her own wings. Legends call her demon, child stealer, and seductress, but her true offense? Refusal. Dr. Enzmann saw her not as evil, but inconvenient, a vestige of prehistoric power, rewritten as a threat. Lilith is feared not for what she did, but for what she wouldn't do. Kali, the Black Mother, is the fierce heartbeat of Hindu cosmology. She is the goddess of time and destruction and rebirth. She is terrifying to the unprepared, but liberating to those who understand her. She dances on the corpse of Shiva, not to kill him, but to awaken him. Kali destroys illusion, ego, and all that clings to life without reverence. Enzmann might call her the purge of false memory, the fire that clears the path for truth. Yet Kali is also the mother, the womb of all creation. She devours not out of malice, but because all things must pass to return. She is not death. She is the turning of the wheel. Say her name and stone follows. Medusa, the snake-haired monster, the cursed beauty. Now that's the story, but that's not the truth. Enzmann traced her deeper. A gorgon, yes, but not a beast. A navigator, a priestess, a sea maid of the megalith mariners, one who reads stars and tides, one who knew the way. The snakes, they were symbols of gnosis, wisdom, eternity, and divine femininity. The myth of her being cursed after violation, typical inversion. When women carry power, the story rewrites them as monsters. Medusa did not kill. She reflected. Her gaze was a mirror, turning judgment back on those who brought it. Her decapitation by Perseus? Not victory, erasure. But she endures in symbols, in fury, in memory. She is not a monster. She is a mirror. So ask yourself, what do you see in her eyes? Mama Wata is a powerful African water spirit, part mermaid and part snake charmer, but wholly sovereign. She rules beauty, wealth, and healing, but her blessings come with terms, devotion, ritual, and fidelity. Disrespect her, and what she gives, she will take back with interest. She is duality incarnate as well as seductive and sacred, a giver and a destroyer. One foot in the spirit realm, the other in the marketplace. Enzmann would have called her a pre-patriarchal survivor, an unbroken goddess who slipped through the cracks of colonial erasure. She is not quaint. She is contractual divinity. Just don't break the contract. Now, the mermaid is not a goddess, but definitely one of the world's most favorite mysteries. She is half woman, half fish. She bridges the seen and the unseen. She is intuition, mystery, and elemental force. But she is no fairy tale. Enzmann saw her as a memory, a symbol of prehistoric seafaring queens, of navigators, astronomers, and master weavers of knowledge and thread. Her tale? Not biology. Insignia. A maritime banner signaling origin and power. She predicted tides, read the stars, and mastered harmonics. That is why sailors feared and revered her. Her songs? Not spells, coded information. Her vengeance? The storm that answers betrayal. She is not a fantasy. She is a warning, a guardian, and a guide. And above all, she is beautiful, untamable, and profoundly elemental. She is the sea's memory of a time when women ruled its charts. Now, the last feminine divine we'll talk about today is Helen. Now, long before Helen of Troy was blamed for war, she was the sun child, thousands of years BC, a tiny goddess of light and life. In deep prehistory, the sun was female. She sustained crops, cycles, time itself. Helen evolved into a radiant queen, a symbol of beauty and sovereignty. Daughters were named Helen, as they are now named Mary. Reverence passed through lineage. She became the standard of beauty. A Helen is a golden mean. Later, the masculine took the sun. Mithra replaced Helen. But the memory of Helen lingers as civilizations shifted and climate forced migrations. The feminine divine faded, not erased, just buried. But when she vanished from the sun, the world grew colder in more ways than one. So I hope you've enjoyed walking this path with me through myth, memory, and the sacred feminine. Now, if you found yourself drawn to these symbols and stories and archetypes, you're not alone. I've spent decades in this symbolic world, and it still surprises me. You'll find my books, both fiction and nonfiction, at thesymbologist.com. The stories are waiting, and there will be more, longer presentations like this. Keep an eye out on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.